Good afternoon, everybody. At first, I want to thank the Spot community and Heineken by facilitating this stage. We'd like to start with a small introduction, who we are and what we're doing here. Besides being the operator of many gastronomy concepts and hospitality facilities on Schiphol and also here in the base, we are happy to be here and contribute to the Spot community with this special Spot festival. First of all, I'd like to introduce Karlijn.
My name is Karlijn Mutsaers, 30 years old. I work for 6 years for the company of Vermaat and currently working as a marketing manager for our corporate branch.
My name is Hendrik Franken. I've been with Vermaat for over 18 years and I'm the creative director for the entire group. Maybe a short story about Vermaat. Vermaat is a family company. Karlijn will tell a bit more about that. And we've been around for over 45 years. And we're going to take you on a small journey in how we have been, well, busy in the last couple of years and also the last decade in staying relevant in our business. And also how we've discovered that we are quite resilient also in times of COVID, except for myself, because the picture is gone. I gained 10 kilos after COVID, so the picture there is a bit less kilos. But not only what you see in the world of F&B, but we hope you're also get inspired by our story, how you can contribute being resilient in your own industry. So I hope we inspire you with the examples we're showing you today. What we say, we believe as Vermaat that there is still very much a lot to gain in the world of food and beverage. Not only on sustainability, we have only one planet, on circularity, but also on the people aspect, being an inclusive company, being a company where everybody is welcome, not only on planet and on people, but also on the product. We see a huge change, not only during COVID, but also before that, in consumer behavior. In almost the entire population of the world is moving towards Generation Z, and we'll also have a big elderly group coming up in the coming years. So you see that landscape is changing rapidly, and that's asking us really to be, well, innovative, to look towards other industries and to be resilient and also to stay relevant in our business. And with the product we have, you might not know Vermaat, but if I tell you we do the gastronomy for the Rijksmuseum, we have 2 Michelin star restaurants, but we also have a cooperation with Sergio Herman, one of the Belgian best chefs, with whom we do a French fries concept. So it's in this world, you need to choose sides, whether it's on the convenience side or on the luxury experience side. It's very important also in this world that if you are choosing, you're doing really the right thing, whether it's low-end convenience or super high-end Michelin stars.
So taking you back to the story of Vermaat, so we were established 45 years ago as a family company. And here you see the first picture of the retail shop that we had across the street of St. Antonius Hospital in Utrecht. And in there, the Familie Vermaat sold food and beverages, retail items, and it was a huge success. So lots of visitors from the hospital, but also employees of the hospitals went there and purchased a lot. So when the hospital decided to move 5 years after, they asked if Vermaat would join and be a future tenant. And so they did. And they did it with the vision and ambition that the hospitality in the building would really be strengthen the company's values and ambition. And it's for that reason that if you enter a hospital, the name of Vermaat is nowhere to be seen, maybe only on the recipe or on the napkin, but not above all the products or above the entrance of the building. And it was quite successful. So after that, The company grew to other branches, such as the leisure branch with the first location at the Postbank, Atlas Arena, the first multi-tenant building, so in the corporate sector. After that to Schiphol Airport with 6 locations. So we were growing at a rapid pace, especially in 2019 when we took over Stag. Maybe some of you are familiar brand here in the Randstad. But then the pandemic hits and everything stood still. So all of our corporate locations closed. Hospital locations mostly closed. Only the employee restaurants were sort of open. We were happy that we acquired Stag because that was one of the only convenience stores that was open by the time. But yeah, 360 locations shut down. So what do you do? Yeah, well, you show resilience, and that is, I think, what we did. So with a small team, we came together the night that we heard that the lockdown would start, and we thought, okay, what can we do during this time? And we started with delivery. So on the first picture, you see Joris Beidendijk. He is the Michelin star chef from Restaurant Rijks. And we started delivery boxes. And we had a lot of hiccups and fuck-ups in the beginning, but we learned a lot from it. And we made it possible to scale it up to our other locations, such as Rui from Rituals and Hemel en Aarde in Utrecht. And it even came to a point in the second picture that we cooked boxes for 15,000 employees of Capgemini and their families during Christmas. And we had the biggest live cooking event in Europe ever. So big success. And we really thought about like, how can we use this delivery success after COVID. So that's why we took over the company Join Program. I don't know if you guys know it, but Join Program is sort of an app. And as an employee, you order your lunch via the app, and based on your preference and dietary requirements. And we produce it in our production kitchen in Diemen, where we can produce up to 10,000 meals a day. And we bring it to the office. It saves you square meters, which are really costly in the Randstad. And you don't have to invest in a kitchen or a restaurant that's only open between 12 and 2. So these are one of the examples. In the meantime, we did an investigation in, okay, when COVID stops, how will people get back to the office? And so we asked 168 of our corporate clients, of our partners, and they said, well, we guess that around 56% of people will come back to the office. Some people work remotely, and some of them will stay at home. And we also asked about, okay, what can be certain pillars for us to focus on? Yeah, I think these will sound quite familiar to you. So sustainability and vitality remained relevant. Offices should be comfortable and future-proof. But then COVID still continues. And last year, we did another interview with all the respondents. Slightly different outcome. So what we saw is that only 50% of the people would come back to the office. That's a big impact if you have 200 locations in corporate catering. So what did we do? Again, we showed resilience. So we brainstormed with a team and thought, okay, what can we do as an F&B partner for our corporate partner? And so we really took a few pillars. One was the espresso bar, which for us is really the central heart of the company. So we developed a new proposition regarding the espresso bar. We really think along the programming. So how can we enhance programming with food and beverages, often together with community managers or programming managers from our partner. We extended our offer in all locations, so from 2 to 5 eating moments. So in between in the morning, in between in the afternoon, and sometimes even the evening meal. And we introduced the concept of smart foods. So in here we take a look at what is the thing that you're coming to the office to, and how can we contribute to that. So if you have a long meeting, we have foods designed that make sure that you won't get a dip if you have a long meeting. If you have a meeting at 4 o'clock, you want to get energized, so we have a kick it assortment just to help you out. And these are some of the examples in how you can think differently in a time where everything is closed.
Well, specifically what Karlijn is telling about the changing world is first the step of clubhouseification, the change of the working environment into a clubhouse. And then our partners actually approached us and said, okay, but we have another big challenge, and that's actually that if people are working 50% remotely or 50% only in the office, then the connection they'll have with the brand or the company needs to be strengthened. So that's why we said, okay, we need to come up with ideas that really work like a magnet. And that's why the programming and all the programs Karlijn was telling about are being set in place. Not only to regain 50% of the revenue that you could say bye-bye to, but also to really play a new role in a new world that will never go back to the situation that was there before COVID. Another example, we're active within museums, we're active within corporate catering, multi-tenants, convenience formulas like Stag, but also here the Albert Heijn to go in this building is one of our operations. But we started our business in hospitals. And many people that I talk to say hospitals are not that sexy in gastronomy-wise, but that's not really the case. So when we were confronted with the European tender, and the European tender is really like, okay, you need to retender your full business. And I can tell you the business at Radboud was a business case around 6 to 7 million euros. For us, very important not to lose that. So what we did actually is we dipped into the strategy of the Radboud board of directors and the strategy of the hospital, who said, okay, the vision we have is that the care we are going to apply to all those patients we have is a personalized approach. So we said, okay, then we need to look into the biggest factors within the world of food and drinks that we need to approach or to address differently. So on the sustainability part, we opened the first plastic-free restaurant, not only on the front side for the guests, but also in the supply chain at the back, which is really challenging because you can all know those little cups with salad and all those little packages and the milk cartons, etc. So we skipped everything out. Really a big, big challenge, not only for us, but also for the guests, because certain things are not available anymore. Big challenge with the industry, because what we were asking wasn't actually there. And we're confronted with the national agreement of healthy food within hospitals. And they said, okay, in portion-wise, this is the amount of sugar that should be in. This is the amount of fat that should be in. Another project is the allergen-free. I don't know whether one of you has a food allergy or whatever. But we said, okay, it's not okay that if you have a food allergy, that you're the exception. We want to turn it around. An assortment which plays in on the big three allergies. Now we got an approved allergy-free restaurant by the Kuliaki union in the Netherlands, but also on nuts and also on other different allergies. So we made a restaurant where you're not the exception, but it's the rule. Another one is on healthy diet within a hospital. There's a big section dental care. So we made a sugar-free restaurant there. So on that part is how we won the European tender to really approach the business differently than we used to do in advance. Artis, for example, the biggest zoo, the oldest zoo in the Netherlands, they challenged us with the fact that they said, okay, yeah, we keep animals in the garden, but no, we don't want any meat. So Vermaat, we want you to be offering us 100% vegan. Well, we almost reached that, but we are 100% vegetarian due to the fact that many of you who are visiting the zoo don't want their coffee with normal cow milk. So if we skip the cow milk, we are 100% vegan. So we took some responsibility in the vision they had in translating that into other gastronomy concepts. Food forest, really scavenging, looking for what is in the nature, what we can use. So there's a food concept, a vegan, glass house where we work together with the gardener of artists and combine new dishes on that perspective. The biggest restaurant on Artis, where formerly hamburgers, French fries, hot dogs were the top 3 list, and we tried to get it vegetarian by saying, okay, we have made a big change into vegetarian cuisine. Everybody was muting. All the public was like, are you telling me I can't eat a normal burger anymore? Really revolution. So after that we thought, okay, if we want to reach that, we need to approach it differently. So we refurbished the entire restaurant, added kiosks like at the McDonald's. Everybody's quite similar with it. We only put a little green V behind the dishes, and we never ever told anywhere, except by the tray, if you finished eating, there's the true story. Everything you've been eating was vegan and vegetarian today. Nobody complains. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2, but it's a big shift in how to communicate with your target group in a different way than you might think. And another small thing is we work together with Bakkerij van As to bring the local connection back to the zoo. Evaluon, another example. Future food. We work together with companies with redefined meat, 3D, printed meat, all in innovation-based, but also like jellyfish, what many people know in the Spanish cuisine, but we're using it also in a different way. This is also an example how you can stretch hospitality to the next level. Circle, maybe you know where it is. It is in the South X, the most traditional business area you can imagine. And there we were asked 7 years ago, can you please propose us with a new concept on circularity? And I was really like, 7 years ago, what do you mean circularity? Sustainability? No, circularity. Okay. I didn't have any clue. So we learned a lot. And now after 7, almost 8 years, we reduced electricity use in our kitchen with 60%. Well, a big topic nowadays. We reduced food waste. We're working together with all different kind of partners to 75% down. And also we said, okay, if we want to have a better footprint, we need to have sourcing within 25 kilometers of the restaurant. So successes after that. And it's all based on a model that we made. We would like to share it with you afterwards if you like, but I would like to inspire you. If you think about circularity, there's a technical cycle. Everybody knows this. How do you share cars, prevent, reuse, the plastic and the glass, but also upcycling and recycling. This is actually quite common already. But circularity is also about making connections again, true connections. So that's why we have big communal tables in the restaurant where people, the biggest issue in this society is loneliness, inclusivity, education. We have a rule that says we don't have copyright. It's right to copy. So all the experiences we have, we share in open source with all our competitors, with the entire hospitality market to make the next step together. Karlijn.
Yeah, and I think to wrap it up, because I think we're almost at 20 minutes and we want to answer questions if you have it. Three things that we want to give to you. Always think 3 steps ahead. Challenge your status quo and learn from other industries and your partners, because you can imagine, you can achieve great results. And so did we. So thank you guys for coming here.